Hey guys, Liz here. I'm going to explain how I made Avalon's headpiece that's for her Faun Halloween costume. It's turned out really adorable and it's actually not that difficult. So basically what I did was I started out with a piece of Warbler that is about 8 inches long and about 2.5 inches wide, and I just trimmed off the end so it was a little bit pointed. And I used a heat gun to soften it up till it becomes malleable. And Warbler is not hot when it's soft. Like the heat gun heats it up, but it doesn't become like boiling hot. Just to the point where it starts to get melty. And I'll put a link to where you can buy Warbler in the description of this video. I buy mine in big sheets because I use it for a lot of different stuff, but of course you don't have to buy it in big sheets. You could also use a headband probably, but I wanted something that was going to be a little bit stiffer. I then put some holes in either end to make way for the elastic band. And then I just put it over the top of Avalon's head while she was eating her lunch. So she's all disheveled looking because she's in the middle of eating some black beans and rice. And then I took a piece of elastic and measured it in the back of her head so that it was snug but not too snug, so that basically I've created a headband that's going to fit her head perfectly and it's not going to be too tight. And the reason I use the Warbler is because it's pretty stiff, so I can glue the horns to it without them flopping around when she's walking. So I'm just measuring the elastic here. And I just glue the elastic on there. Just do a little test to make sure it fits. So for the horns, I used these little flocked branches that I found at Michael's in the floral section, and I just trimmed off one of the little branches to use as a horn. But you could use Warbler, you could use pipe cleaners, you could use wire, you could use pretty much anything you want depending on what you want your little horns to look like. But to attach them, I took a couple of little strips of the Warbler and I went ahead and warmed it up and wrapped it around the base of the horns. And the Warbler gets, basically when you heat it up, it sticks to itself. So it becomes, it's not sticky per se, but it just sort of glues to itself. It's really magical stuff. You can just kind of heat it up and glue it to itself without having to use any other kind of, adhesive and stuff. And it is non-toxic. It's not gonna harm you by putting it on your skin or anything like that. A lot of cosplayers use this material to make armor and stuff. So that's what this is generally used for. So basically this is a tiny cosplay outfit for Avalon. Just press that down onto the top of a little round piece so that I can attach it to the headband. This will keep the horns from kind of flopping around. I'm just heating up the base of the circle so that I can glue it onto the headband, and I've placed little marks on the top of the headband. I put it back on Avalon. I didn't film this part, but I put it back on her head and then just kind of marked about where I want the horns to be so that I don't have to worry about accidentally gluing them in the wrong spot. It's just not the same. To make the ears, I am using some Presto felt, which is basically just felt that has a sticky back. And I'm taking a piece of white and a piece of ivory, and I stuck them together. And I'm just cutting out sort of like a, an oval shape that's pointed on one end and flat on the other. And I'm just gonna roll it up and glue it with a little hot glue. Well, first I'm going to dust it with some, this is actually petal dust, which is an edible dust basically, but you could use any kind of color, paint or airbrush, or even makeup would work to just kind of add a little pink inside the ears. And then after you dust the inside, then you use the hot glue to roll it up and create your little ear. I'm just going to glue the ears to the base of the headband, right down where basically right over where the elastic band is attached. I then have a bunch of kind of smallish flowers that I got from the floral department, and I'm just going to take some of the leaves and some of the buds and basically all the flowers and just pop them off the stem and glue them over the top of the warbler with just some hot glue. And that kind of gives the illusion that she's got flowers in her hair. And it also hides the headband. Now my daughter's hair is brunette, so I will probably color the elastic like black or brown so that it blends in more with her hair, because she has short hair still. But if your daughter or son has longer hair, you can just tuck the headband underneath the hair so that it doesn't show. Or you could color it brown if you needed to. And that's basically it. It's not too complicated.